heard you like your radio just like you like your coffee. Just like you like your coffee. Hot, black, and sexy.
Sun newspaper reports the protest. Federal government places Sowore and other sponsors on watch list and freezes bank accounts. The Office of the National Security Advisor, NSA, and heads of security agencies have directed the Nigerian Immigration Services, NIS, to arrest human rights activist and former presidential candidate of African Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore, and other sponsors of nationwide End Bad Governance protests placed on watch list. Although the Comptroller General of NIS, Kemi Nandap, did not reveal identities of those watch listed when she spoke to newsmen after a meeting of heads of militant and paramilitary agencies at the defense headquarters, Abuja, yesterday, a senior immigration officer confided in newsmen that Sowore is among those on the watch list. On August 1, Nigerians hit the streets to protest against various challenges, including the rising cost of living and insecurity in the country. What was meant to be a peaceful action turned violent in some parts of the country, resulting in the looting and vandalization of properties and loss of lives. A twist was introduced to it when protesters were seen waving flags of Russia and China and calling for a military intervention in the country and in some parts of northern Nigeria, including Kano, Kaduna, Plateau, and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Speaking during a combined news conference by heads of security agencies and service chiefs convened by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, at the defense headquarters in Abuja yesterday, Nandap confirmed that the agency has identified some diaspora sponsors and were on its watch list. The immigration boss said they would be arrested if they stepped on Nigerian soil. Any attempt they make to come into the country, we will be notified and they will be picked up and handed to appropriate authorities. Now that takes us to another story in the Vanguard newspaper that says 6 Spaniards, real sponsors of protest, arrested. That's coming from the police. And the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, said yesterday the police have arrested some of the real sponsors of rioters who hosted foreign flags and called for a change of government in the country in states such as Kano, Kaduna, Zamfara, amongst others. The IGP spoke as the Comptroller General of Nigerian Immigration Service, Kemi Nandap, disclosed that sponsor of foreign flags by the rioters had been identified to leave abroad. This is even as service chiefs, including the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Mustafa, and Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, warned that the military will not stand idly and watch the country slide into anarchy. These came yesterday as the protest in Port Harcourt intensified, with the protesters marching to the private residence of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, near Somwike, and blocking the popular East-West Road and other major roads on the state to traffic. However, there was a thaw in Kano, where the state government modified its dusk till dawn curfew between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and Kano, where the curfew imposed by, and Kaduna rather, where the curfew imposed by the state government brought about a lull in the city. We've arrested, Abuja and Lagos were also calm yesterday, and they said we've arrested real sponsors of rioters carrying foreign flags, calling for change of government. IGP Egbetokun spoke. All right, now I'll come back to the studio. Omotayo, good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
And I would love for you to start up with this conversation, because we've been going back and forth on whether or not these, Sowore has spoken a couple of times. I think the day before yesterday, he even gave an interview on why this protest has to carry on. And now we're seeing it's not yet proven yet. It's because when the the comptroller of the immigration spoke. She didn't point out his name, but they said a little birdie told them that Sowore's name is in it. Can you react to that?
Good morning once again. I'd like to start with the first issue of Sowore before I go to the issue of the IG. Sowore is a notable name. He has been one of the people who champions different protests. In fact, Buhari arrested him more than 3 times. He has always been a revolutionarist. I've known him to be that. But if the NSA is saying if he steps into the country, he'll be arrested, and I want to know the basis of which he will be arrested on. Is it because he sponsors a protest? Because there will always be a sponsor of every protest, so people have to fund it. And now it's also saying that there are other people outside the country who are sponsoring these things. I just have an issue with him. I'm not against you want to arrest anybody. You have your reasons why you want to arrest them. Probably you're not pleased with the way the protests go, and at some point we found out that it was hijacked. But I also want to tell you, why didn't you name other people? You see, we have to know the enemy of these countries.
No, but she did not name.
That's what I'm saying. If you can mention Sowore, should it be because Sowore, we know that the speech of the president, Sowore, designated to be a beautiful nonsense, and a lot of critics have go that. And then at the same time, should you not now apologize, or should the federal government not apologize to Mr. Peter Obi for tagging him first to be a sponsor of that protest, especially statement from Bayo Ononuga? So that's it. So for me, naming Sowore, I don't know if he can defend himself, but why naming one person? What happened to others? See, Mr. Jude, this is the system we've been seeing in governance. They will say we've seen those who are doing this. Let's know our enemies. There is no need for you hiding their names, so that we can be aware of them. So naming only Sowore for me is not enough. Sowore should come and defend himself. Yes, I've seen a lot of interviews for him whereby he said he wants this protest to continue until the government really address the need of the people.
He has also called for a revolution.
Of course. So, and you know what revolution could be? He wants a total, probably maybe he wants a new system of government, or he wants to just get into power to do something. But I can remember when he had the opportunity to come to this studio, you posted a question to him that why didn't he start from maybe House of Rep, and he feels he can just rule from the presidency, which yes. I don't think is better for him. So for me, naming just Sowore is not what it should be. Name others. Then to the IG, saying that they've been able to find those who are sponsoring,
Spaniards, actually people from
the
Spain,
flag and the China flag. See, let's know these people. Don't just tell us
they're not Nigerians.
Even if they are not Nigerians, why is it that when Nigerians do something bad abroad, they tell them their names, they let us know, they'll say so Nigeria from this, they'll tell us the name. From the name we can know the region. And I think yesterday I was watching channels, Kenneth Okonkwo and an APC spokesperson was saying that the people who actually sponsored this Russian flag in Nigeria are from either Niger and Chad. So, but he also didn't mention their name. So for me, I'm particular about when you say if I can't just, that means you're putting us in a blank bracket. You didn't tell us. You're just, so we should be assuming. So for me, yes, it's good because I didn't support them flagging another man's country. Is actually a treasonable offense. But when you say you've been able to identify, you want to make arrest. Who are those? Let's find out who are really the enemy of democracy in Nigeria, so that we can balance the system.
Okay, so I've got this question to ask. At this point, do you agree that this protest was sponsored, or Nigerians really wanted to come out because there's hunger in the land?
Well, my answer might be dicey somehow.
Okay, go
Number
ahead.
one, there is no how protest will happen without people sponsoring it. People have to champion something. Yes, it's a faceless protest, probably because they are scared of what the government will do to them. And the president is calling for dialogue. I'm looking for those who want that. But there are some that have identified themselves, like the Jaden Yoju, of there is other woman,
Sowore.
No. Some of these people are beginning to say, oh, in our own capacity. I think take it back also in Abuja. Some of them have been able to identify themselves. So people will always champion something, but we don't know who are the now. Either it's politically motivated or not, yes. But the truth of the matter is, do Nigeria want to actually want the government to know, we are hungry? Yes, and even the president acknowledged it. So Nigerians are hungry, but there will be people that will, and that's why when the president called for a camp, some states refused. Port Harcourt refused to. You read it. Port Harcourt refused to stop. Yesterday, Osun State governor had to go and send his deputy to go and beg the people. Some states in the south have not stopped. Some people, I was watching News Central. They went there on Monday yesterday. Monday was the day before yesterday to cover it. Some talks started chasing them away. They want to know if people will still come out. So we live in a country whereby we know the economy is bad. And okay. But for me, hunger.
Yeah, there's hunger, right?
There's hunger.
But the reason I asked you that question in particular, because I remember when the president was still saying that they were sponsors of this, what's it called, the protest, and the people were sponsoring, and it's not just Nigerians that want to come out. You categorically said that it wasn't true. So that's why I asked you if you thought that what the government is saying now is actually true.
So I said it wasn't true because I wanted them to let us know. See, when I say you are doing something, I should not just allege. That moment, if you also remember, I said if you are and what the government said is that this protest might be hijacked, and they've identified some people that might want to cause and some of the things we saw. And I said, can you identify them so that those things we are fighting for, so those things you are scared of happening will not happen. And that is why when the president came out and said, he named some state that he was feeling pity that people died, I said I didn't accept that because you foreseen this thing. Why don't you act before? So for me, that's why I'm also saying that now you've even said, okay, you've been able to find them. Can you now name all of them? Stop calling only one person. Let's have name. Let's have something tangible. That is one of the reasons why it's hard to trust the government, because they're not giving us the real truth. I can't just say go and drive a car. I have to give you the key to the car. So now you've said you have a foresight that this might happen. Now, police say they've been able to identify some people. Tell us. NSA say they've been able to identify some people. You only mentioned a particular name that Nigerians know. So for me, give us the full list. I'm not against you finding them. Yes, you have to do your job. That's why you're paid to do the job. But do the job. But let's know the real thieves, those who are actually, fighting against democracy in Nigeria.
So don't just put a blank.
Don't just blank. No, I don't want blank reports.
All right, I'll come back to Otobong in a short while. It's still Hot 93.3. Remember, this is the hard topic. You get to call us up in a minute. In 10 seconds, we'll go on a break, and after that, we'll return, and then Otobong, will speak on this issue as well. Good morning, Lagos.
Hot 93.3.
The frequency you can trust.
Which Tech Cables? Premium or nothing? Building your dream home, powering your business, or creating thriving communities. You need a foundation you can trust. Which Tech Cables? The reliable choice for homeowners, businesses, and developers. Made with high quality materials and well tested for reliable delivery. Which Tech Cables ensures safe and reliable connection, long lasting performance, flexible and easy to install. Which Tech Cables build with confidence, power your dreams. Visit www.whichtech.com or your nearest hardware store to learn more. Which Tech Cables, premium or nothing.
Is it trending? Is it trending? Is it hot? Then we are talking about it. Hot topics on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. Join us as we discuss national, political, and social matters every weekday on the Koffee Gang.
Hot 93.3, Lagos.
Welcome back, Lagos. It's still Hot 93.3. If you're just tuning in, this is the hot topic. And today we're looking at what the government is putting out as people who might have just been sponsors of the protest, and, of course, people who were sponsoring for the flag of either China or Russia. I have Otobong. Good morning.
Good morning, Judy. Good morning,
And
Lagos.
I would like for you to react to some of the things that we just talked about. And please be specific on these situations, because I don't want you picking up on anything, because I think I've asked questions. So go ahead. Let us know what you think about the Spaniards who were sponsoring the hosting of the flags, and, of course, what they're talking about Sowore.
Well, Mr. Jude, I mean, you've already handcuffed me even before, telling me my crime. So it's very hard for me to actually call a lawyer. But if I'm being given my civil rights as a citizen, I mean, you can probably at least hear me out first. I don't think, it really, should be about the Spaniards at this point. I think we should actually address the elephant in the room, which should be, a fact that was denied by, some Nigerians who felt, it's a propaganda. And I must restate this as, look, when the presidency said some elements are out there to, topple this protest, I'm not sure they were referring to people, losing their lives, and which would warrant, people saying, oh, they would have protected these people. I feel, just like I said yesterday, I think it is because of, this externalities, trying to infiltrate the sovereignty of our nation. I'm very happy, Mr. Jude. This was almost, or, if not, to be likened to what we had in Germany back then, in those years where you had the Nazis take advantage of the depression back then, to restate themselves, which we all know that right now you cannot, wave that flag or those symbols in some country, including Germany. Now, you would ask yourself why all of a sudden this is not, I was even interested in the fact that people would say, oh, just like they were using the 2012 protest as an example, always bringing that up as an example. I was waiting for people to say, oh, this is not the first time we've seen an external flag during the protest, but it would interest you to know that this was actually the first time. And if you look at the country in question, Mr. Jude, we're talking about Russia, and we're not here to paint any country black, but we all know, the relationship between, Russia, even the Wagner group, that infiltrated Ukraine and the likes. It is almost I would liken it to be a war-torn country. So if we're having these countries' flag waved at full mast in the country during a protest, then, Mr. Jude, it is just about telling people, look, we want these guys to come in and help us. We want you to come. And I heard conversations about people saying, oh, you can't blame them. It is because they felt it is the armed forces flag that, it is always stationed by the president. Mr. Jude, it is very laughable. I had a good laugh yesterday.
But isn't that just possible?
No, Mr. Jude, if you look at the Russian flag and the armed forces flag, there's a big difference. While this one, the Russian flag start with the white, ours does not start with the white.
But it's the same color.
No, it's not the same.
Now, what I'm saying is, a lot of Nigerians, there was a question on Twitter. Nigerians were asking, why is the president standing behind a flag that looks like French? There was that conversation on Twitter. If you were on Twitter, you would have seen it.
Of course, very well.
Now, would you say that the people were also just
Mr. Joe, we all know that these are just conversations, day-to-day conversations, just to either down tensions or raise them up. But we're actually handling what is present right now, which is, should they have listened to the presidency? Do not go ahead with this protest. We're not saying we're denying your civil rights. Do not go ahead with this protest now. Because why? We have actually done the homework which we're supposed to do. We have seen that, look, there are some people waiting for that moment. Maybe they would have, that's if we knew the organizers, they would have probably shifted it from August 1st. At least reasonably shifted from August 1st to maybe August 5th or August 3rd or thereabout. Because these elements were already stationed, ready for August 1. So if we're coming out to see people say, oh, we have been able to discover sponsors of this and all of that, it is not new to me. I'm only here to, commend the president, the NSA, and the likes for,
But quickly, why would you commend them when they saw these things and they knew that people were sponsoring? It doesn't tell that the security system in Nigeria has really big flaws. If you can tell that something is going to happen and you cannot prevent it, does it make sense that we still have security people on that level?
Mr. Jude, I cannot undermine the security architecture of this country. It is at its peak, in fact, very optimal. Now, this is a case where you have, security intelligence being gathered. It is being perceived that, just like Omota used an example. I mean, if you give, without giving someone a car key, would the person drive? But how about giving you the car key and telling you, look, do not use this route? It has speed bumps and potholes that would damage your engine or even your tires or your rim, but simply because you feel you have driver's license, you can maneuver your way only to end up in a ditch. Now, would you say that I didn't give you the advice, or would you say that I was bad to give you the car key? Now, what the government did was, gather this security intelligence and, let it out there. And I feel they were even talking to ghost organizers, because nobody owned up, as of when, I think 31st of July, we didn't hear anybody until when, I think, apart from the Abuja incident.
But someone, Ononuga, pointed out Peter Obi as one of, and he's one of the president's people. Did you think that he was right on that? No.
Well, Mr. Ju, we actually talked about that, and I told you that, look, it is the opposition's role to always be on the opposing side. Look, you would always be picked for anything, whether you're at it or not. So we have Ononuga on the side of the APC, we have Peter Obi from the Labour Party, we have Atiku on the side of the PDP. So they can probably do crossfires for all I care, but that has nothing to do with, the national issues that we're talking about, which I'm saying that the presidency, the federal government, and everybody, including the security personnel, did talk about the protest being hijacked. We're talking about being hijacked. We're not even talking about, tires were burned, things were looted. Now, those were orchestrated by only God knows who. I don't have that information. Now, I'm anchoring on the fact that this fact was established. Why did they not pay heed to it rather than, see it as a propaganda, which we have seen? Look, I don't know how this is going to be erased in our history, but it has come to stay, and it is a smear on our sovereignty. I tell you this, whenever you look up in the history of Nigeria, you would always see that there was a time the Russian flag was flown at half, not even half mast, full mast, and it wasn't when we had President Putin visit us, because that would be a justification for, having the flag in our country because he's in the country. He wasn't here, and we were having placards of, we need Tinubu to go, cool conversations, and all of that. So it doesn't make sense, Mr. Jude.
Mr. Jude, for me, talking about His Excellency Peter Peter Obi and what another guy said about him, I think what the statement coming from federal government is a national issue against him. So if he reacts also, I think it should also be a national reaction. So that stands that the Mr. Peter will be out, because he was the point accusing finger at him. He had to defend himself. So it's a national issue. Now, going back to the issue of the day. Now, you know that some citizens will die. No, protest first becomes bad when thug get into it. And I maintain, I said, NSAS to me was not a bad protest, not until these bad eggs came into it. It has been a peaceful protest. Even I always refer more to the one of Ojota, because I know I was part of that. I was following that Ojota particular one, and there was no injury. There were no nothing. Because the government on the day somehow also add some intelligence, and they provide enough security. Now the government we have now made a statement. DSS released statement. Don't forget, police, they said we've seen these things. Now, should you wait until people die? Because people lost their life from the first day of that protest. Why don't you go after? See, I'm a father and I have a son, and I know that if my son jumps from that step, the son will injure himself. I will have to start spending extra money. Why don't I just carry my baby off that step? That is what the federal government need to do. Now, you're still telling us that, okay, you've been able to now arrest them after the event have happened. You can't still let us know them. There is something I feel the security agency is not doing. And that's why, for me, I doubt some of the things they are saying. You can't be giving us off-bracket words. See, come out plain. People want to trust this government. People are not saying the president should resign. Me, I don't support the president resigning, because if the president resigns, another person will take over. But I'm not supporting. He's now the president of the country. But we need to be able to hold our president accountable. And holding our president accountable is officials, security men also. These major men who sit, in affair of power needs to know this thing. Then secondly, let people know about the flag. You see the other flag beside the president. Most people don't know that flag has 4 colors. It has blue, red, white and army green, and that's the flag that prescribed the president as the GCFR. Actually, that's the truth of that flag, and that's one of the things I was saying, that I was talking about education of the mind yesterday. So Nigeria also, I think our education system, and that's why I'm also calling on National Orientation Agency. Some of all these things that most of us don't know, we need to know it so that we don't take advantage of this thing. Now, a flag had been given to young Nigerians. They don't even know what they were carrying. Probably a little amount of money has been given to them. So there is need for proper education. One, on the size of Nigeria, irrespective of you need to know some of the things that makes your president the president. That makes the president the president. That other flag you're seeing is what prescribes him as the GCFR, the Grand Commander of all the forces we have in the country. But irrespective of that, going back to my statement, you can't tell us that you saw danger ahead. You didn't find it. Now, after the damages has happened, you say you've been able to apprehend them. Who are they?
Okay.
Mr. J, please, I have a quick question.
He asked the question. You want to address that before you?
Who are they?
Who are they? If you're saying that we saw this beforehand, we knew that this could happen, and all of a sudden we have issues. By the way, a soldier shot a 16-year-old in Kaduna. Nigerian protester dead in Kaduna. Now, a soldier with the Nigerian army on Tuesday, which was yesterday, shot dead a 16-year-old at the End Bad Governance Nigeria protest in the Samaru community in Zaria, Kaduna State. The teenage protester was identified as Ismail Mohammed. The director of Army Police Public Relations, Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, confirmed the development in a statement on Tuesday titled "Unfortunate Death of a Protester by a Soldier in Zaria." Nwachukwu explained the incident happened on Tuesday when troops of the Nigeria Army received a distress call to help disperse some hoodlums who had gathered in Samaru, burning tires and attacking security personnel. Now, Nwachukwu added that the mob attempted to attack the troops, which led to a soldier to fire a warning shot to secure the hoodlums away, which led to Mohammed's death. Now, let's look at this. This one person has been shot by a military gun. Now, like what Omotayo has said, if the security details had said that this thing is going to be hijacked and all of that, and they knew that some of these people are sponsoring, maybe internationally, and then we have the local sponsors as everything, and maybe these local sponsors also had backings. Wouldn't it have been nice to call some of these people before this protest on the 1st of August?
Mr. Jude, to understand your question, are you referring to the organizers or the people who are supposed to hijack the protest?
The people who are supposed to hijack and some of the organizers.
Well, Mr. Jude, just like the president said, I mean, you'd have people who would always kick against your administration, and there is something that has been established which is politically motivated, and I don't think there is anybody that has that political will to kick against your antecedent or your administration that would want to give you a listening ear. All they would do is, I like to call them political opportunists who would want to take advantage of anything at any given time just to smear, your hard work. Now, the question here is, if the government had, gotten this security intelligence intel that we were to have people hijack the protest, I don't think it was geared towards, the hoodlums or probably the people causing mayhem. Now, there is a level to an anarchy that you can control, and when it goes out of proportion, then you have no other alternative than to bring in, security personnel. Like what we're having in the UK, in as much as they're not allowed to carry arms, but it is getting way out of proportion. People are losing their lives and being assaulted. Now, if you come back to Nigeria, the protests here, like in some states, especially in Lagos, and people are having issues with that, there is a reason for that. Not like the government will not allow you march through the street, but so that we can actually contain and be able to, monitor this closely. I think they were given designated locations to actually come together and push the message to the government. Now, in each of these designated areas, we have security personnel on ground stationed there. And we're having some cases in the north, to my fair knowledge, where we have people just take up on police vehicles, take up on police signposts.
But the government could have stopped this.
No, Mr.
They
J.
had intel.
Now
They
the
could have
intel,
stopped
the
this.
intel, like I said,
Yes.
to be realistic, the intel is, one of the major reasons why we had that intel was, like this issue of Russian flag and the call for coup that we're seeing. Now, it is politically motivated because it's sending a different message other than, okay, we need the prices of things to come down, other than cost of living.
But do you agree that Nigerians are hungry, though?
Yes, of course, Mr. Jude. Nobody can sit here and deny the fact that currently the index on our cost of living ratio is quite high. Nobody's denied that fact. But what we're saying is, look, in as much as the protest was supposed to be about cost of living, yes, we need price of things to be crashed and all of that. There were other motives. Even the protesters themselves, even some organizers themselves, were not aware of. So for the government to tell you these are designated areas that we want you, who is trying to call out for reductions in cost of living, this is where we want you to stay, so that this is a central point where we can actually secure you, and it has nothing to do with your properties. Now, if you look at those places where those properties were being vandalized, Mr. Jude, it was in other places, and only God knows, because I cannot give information that I do not have. Only God knows who were the instigators of those protests. While the main, the real Nigerians were gathered at a place or marching towards the designated area, we had other people taking advantage of it, destroying people's properties, stealing and looting. Then we had other batches of people coming out with flags, Mr. Jude. How do we contain all of this? We had a security intel of, okay, these people are going to infiltrate. But I'm not going to say, maybe the government were just pushing people into the trap because they knew. Why didn't they stop? I will not sit here and go with that, idea. But the truth is, it has been established, and, it has been arrested. And hopefully, Mr. Jude, I just hope we get to the root of this report, where we get to find out who are the instigators, because whether we like it or not, this might be the preamble to 2027. This might be the preamble to maybe 2028, 2030, or 2025. Nobody knows.
But there's a question that's burning in my heart, and I need to ask this question. And it's because it's easy to sit and say this protest was organized by people. But when you go onto the streets of Nigeria, you find out that a lot of people are willing to come out. Now, if you had seen some videos as well, you hear that some people were saying people in government were giving them 5,000 to go out and be an anti-protest to the protest. Do you also think that that is something that cheered up to what this thing has become presently?
Well, Mr. Jude, to be very honest with you, I think I came across a video on social media where
a couple of videos actually.
Two individual, that would be in Abuja.
In Abuja, there's one from Abuja. There's one in Kano. There was one, yes, from Lagos.
Now,
as well.
The only video I saw was that of Abuja, where they say, people came out to say, look, come out.
And one of the guys even mentioned somebody from a ministry.
Well, I haven't come across that video. I only came across the other two where they mentioned their occupation and how much they were promised.
5,000.
5,000 naira. And at the end of the day, they were not given that amount. Now, Mr. Jude, if we're looking at, this whole scenario, and I said it the other day that nobody says you don't have the right. I can decide to, by myself, go to a place that, is very popular and carry a placard of, I need diesel prices to crash. But the reach to which I would do just by myself might not be as much as, a group of persons coming together. We have, organizers of every protest, whether this one, this one that is happening now, or the previous ones. There is always that, direction from either groups of persons, NGOs, or private individuals who would either come together, use means like social media, create WhatsApp groups. Now, you need more than two persons to, have that conversation. Okay, this is our meeting point. You now send out flyers. People would now say, okay, let's converge here.
But you also
now
remember
that will
that
have a higher reach.
In Tunisia, the what's it called, Arab Spring that happened, it just took one man to set himself on fire, and the whole country went on fire as well. That wasn't planned.
Now, Mr. Jude, I would say that was extreme. No Nigerian will want to set themselves on fire. But we're asking the questions of, the organizers, which I am saying that, look, these people, Mr. Jude, maybe they didn't want it to go this way. But the problem, which I said from the time memorial, Mr. Jude, which is, it is not about protesting, but have we gotten to that stage where we can actually, properly manage a protest?
Okay.
Well, for me, I don't think the last question you asked was not well treated. For me, I've not seen a statement from the government to deny that they didn't do that. A particular name of a minister from Rivers State were even mentioned. In fact, at some point, the anti-protesters that protested were allowed to use a particular venue. But the real Nigerians that were hungry...
The fake Nigerians? The anti-protesters?
No, they are not fake Nigerians. But
because you said the real Nigerians and then the anti-protesters...
Sorry, but the Nigerians the other Nigerians that want to protest, we are not allowed. But don't also forget that one of the videos we saw on that day, and that's why I said I don't trust the statement from the government, is that one of the anti-protesters that protest on that day, this English is much, that wanted to defend the government, or people not protesting against them, started complaining how things were difficult in the country.
Yes.
And his people were telling him, what do they talk? So you see that there are so many discrepancies in the information the government is releasing out. So for me, I'm asking this question again. Who are these people identified aside Sowore that every Nigerian knows?
All right, Lagos, it's time for us to have a conversation this morning. Do you think that this protest was majorly sponsored, or Nigerians really wanted to come out and, bear their minds out and tell the government what is happening with them? And what do you have to say about the people who have been caught sponsoring this protest? Call us up. The numbers are 081 8242 6591. That's 081 8242 6591. You can also reach us on 091 380 92710. That's 091 380 92710. And better still, you can send us a WhatsApp message on 081 800 89933. It's still a hot topic right here, and we're looking at the situation of the protest. Some states have actually called theirs off. Some people are not coming out anymore, but some are just gearing up, most especially in the north. They're just gearing up, and we probably do not understand what the situation is in most of these places, but the government is saying that they are sponsors. The National Immigration yesterday says that they are, shutting down some accounts. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please turn down the volume on your radio, sir, so we can communicate better. Thank you.
Clement Awene. I want to comment on this.
All right, Clement.
You see what the other man was saying. I don't really know the identification. I don't know how people will see the truth and refuse to follow it up. At times, everybody see the truth and they refuse. That's what is bringing the country to this level. Everybody's hungry. Things are cost. We are seeing it. There's no consumers in the market to control prices. They say they bring this out. We are not seeing anything. So please, let the other man try to be a little bit honest and let this country go on. Thank you very much.
Okay, but before you go, sir, could I ask an honest question?
Yeah.
Do you think that this was a sponsored event, or Nigerians really wanted to bear their minds?
Yes, of course. Yes,
Yes.
They really, everybody, yes, all over the whole nooks and crannies of the country.
Okay.
So this, when we talk of irresponsible protesting, it's not this kind of one. This one is clear. It's just like the NSTARS. The only thing is that they designated certain areas, and definitely, even if people come out en masse, that place will not be able to the size of the perimeter of that place will not contain them.
Okay.
So people still manage to manage the protest the way, but in every protest there will be things, bloodshed and all that. That's just it.
Thank you so much, Maxwell, for calling us this morning. All right, let's find out who's here. Hello, good morning. It's still 081-8242-6591 or 091-380-92710. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. My name is Chinyere.
Chinyere,
I'm calling from Ogun.
Ogun State.
I'm calling from Ogun State.
All
yes,
right,
sir.
Chinyere, you're
Listen,
welcome.
I want to tell you the truth. Everybody outside want to come and express their mind because there is hunger everywhere. If you go to the market, the price you're buying a bag of rice now, you can use it and buy 10 bags before. So there is nothing like somebody sponsor somebody to come and talk what is in his or her mind. So that is what I want to talk. Nobody sponsor. If there is, I don't know, but if you allow me to come out, because I'm not in a state to come out, I will come and tell everybody what is going on, because I'm into business. I know what we are suffering outside. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Chinyere. Now, this is a Nigerian saying that she doesn't think that the sponsorship is major because she would have come out if she was in a state to do that. The studio lines are still 081-8242-6591. If you're having issues with that, call us up on 091-380-92710. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. G.
Good morning, sir. What's your name, sir?
Evangelist Johnson from Maryland.
All right, Evangelist, go ahead, please.
Thank God for another day.
Yes, we do.
Nigeria is our country. At least I am in my early 50s. And I've been following my father into politics since when I was 6 years. So a man that is in politics for 40-something years is not a young person in that business. So whatever is happening in Nigeria, we know about it. The APC have been planning against this protest. Before the protest, there was anti-protest in Nigeria. Now they are even using police and army to threaten even the people that cover the protest, which are the journalists. It's so sad. The protest that have not started, this present APC government has already you see that there will be hijackers, there will be hoodlums. But in this same country, Boko Haram went to Chibok and kidnapped so many girls so many years ago. They cannot rescue. Nobody predicts that Boko Haram action. Nobody predicts that headmen would be going to the farms to kill farmers, destroy their farms. Today, Nigeria are hungry because of this.
Okay.
No federal government that can.
Hello. All right, let's find out who's here. Please do call us back. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name, sir?
Mr. Judith Okangbe.
Okangbe, you're welcome, sir. You're calling from Mafoluku today?
I'm always there.
Okay. All right. Okangbe, it's great to have you in today. So go ahead with your thoughts, please.
They are talking about sponsors of the protest.
The protest, yes.
I don't think these guys are serious. It's the usual refrain. When they come up, they will say, we have names of those who have sponsored this. We have names, we have intelligence about this. There is no day that they will bring one list or one name. They will not mention one person's name. It's that's just gra for you. They will never mention any name. I can bet you that this is how it will end.
So do you agree? Though?
We have them. We have intelligence that we have this. We have some people, some politicians as sponsors. Name them and bring evidence. Nothing.
So you do not agree with the government? You do not agree with the government that, oh dear, Okangbe, please do call us back. I think something will happen with the network. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, yes. My name is Deepo. Can I contribute?
Yes, please. Deepo, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Lagos.
All right, go ahead, please.
So you see, the problem we have in this country is unfortunately, we have found ourselves in this situation. However, this is a problem that's been on for years and years and years. This man in question that everybody wants to, that everybody's asking about their president, right? We need to give this man time. He has made two policies which I know were detrimental to the economy, well, the FX, and the other one, which is the subsidy.
Subsidy.
Yes, probably make those decisions in a hurry. But at the same time, there was no money to pay to buy more fuel, to subsidize the fuel. So all he has to do at that point in time was to do what he did. But people don't understand this part. That's it. The second thing is, you see, for the economy to grow, we need to stop subsidy and grow the economy from the bottom of the game. There are so many factors. Now, but my own take on this is that those two policies that he made actually is all things with the economy, yes, which we all know results in.
Yes.
People are hungry and all of that, we know that. However, with our Nigerians, the way they are portraying this hunger is even very funny. Because it's not as if, yes, people are hungry, but the way people are going about this hunger, it's just not the way it is.
So you think the hunger has been exaggerated?
It is.
Okay.
Certainly it is.
All right.
So, I mean, we know that there's some places in Nigeria, I mean, we live in Lagos, yes. We know that, I mean, people in Lagos are kind of okay. If you go to the northern part of Nigeria, yes, people are suffering. But at the same time, they get more government incentives than the people down here in the south.
All right. Thank you so much.
They're looking at them.
Thank you so much, Deepo, so that other people can contribute as well. Hello, good morning.
My
yes,
brother.
you're welcome back. Yes,
so
sir.
I'm calling back.
All right, go ahead.
You see, it's comments like this that make even this protest to even continue. Look at what somebody is telling you that the hunger is not. The people, they should give this man time. Abacha, what's his name? Buhari had 8 years. By the time he left government, we had 133 million people in abject poverty. He said we should give him time. And people are talking of, they don't have food that they will eat to be able to live till tomorrow. He said we should give him time. What kind of time? You see, it is Nigerians that are killing us. It's not even the leaders. I don't blame our leaders. It's we ourselves. Somebody will come and tell you that the hunger is exaggerated. Do you know how many people call me on a daily basis to beg me for 1,000 only? And you're there talking.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Okangwe. Okangwe seem to be pretty up there already.
People have their own
opinions, yes, so they are allowed to express it as well. 08182426591 or 09138092710. Good morning.
Hello, Jude.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Oh, dear. Please call us back if you can. Hello, good morning. All right, please, can you speak a little louder so we can hear you?
I said, this is Casey from Lekki.
Okay, Casey from Lekki, go ahead, please.
Please, I want you to help me as the government. Who are the sponsors of the no protest? Because it seems to have focused all the attention on the end bad government protest. Or are they indirectly telling us they are the ones that sponsored the no protest? Because it's also a protest and they are not doing anything about the sponsors of that particular one.
All right. Thank you so much for that as well. Hello. Good morning.
Please, I want to contribute concerning what the person before the two people.
Okay.
Listen to me. When Jonathan was there, they did not give him time. Every one of them gathered together to make sure they bring him down. Buhari was there. Every one of them, indirectly or directly, say something against him. They did not know. When they are coming, they thought it's in their power that when they go, they will do this, they will do that. Remember, they promised they will renew their hope, they will do this agenda, this and that. Listen to me. The thing concerning Nigeria is not what somebody will boast, I can do it today or I can do it tomorrow. Only you ask from God that by the grace of God, they are doing as if, as the wife spoke, that they have money, that they are not looking for money. What is going on now? Everything turned upside down. So let them just go back and check themselves and ask for God's mercy and forgiveness so something will work out for them.
Thank you so much for calling back and expressing yourself as well. Everybody's opinion is valid as long as you don't insult anyone's sensitivity. 08182426591 or 09138092710. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Jude. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, Ben from Apapa. How are you doing today?
Yeah, fine. How are they?
We did fine. Go ahead.
The hungry, they kill us. So I don't know whether you are exaggerating the hunger yourself. you see why this country will not be good unless by God's grace. See, look, somebody is saying something that the International Monetary Fund and World Bank, everybody have predicted. Nigeria is among the countries that are suffering from poverty, hunger. And somebody is saying that he's exaggerating it. Well, I don't blame him. Whether they have paid him, but he will see hunger. God will punish him with hunger.
No. Sorry, we don't allow that. We cannot,
No,
unfortunately,
God did not punish anybody.
we can't allow that. Please do not insult anybody's sensitivity. Everybody have a right to their opinion. Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
My name is Bola, calling from Merabuleba.
Bola, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Let me start from, I'm 58 years old.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
I've experienced a series of protests in my life.
Okay.
The first one I experienced most was when I got married in Hope 93, Abiola and Abiyacha. And series of protests have come after that. Now, an hungry man is an angry man in Nigeria. We are all hungry. There's no hope that we visit, that we not know that people are really hungry. You know what we buy in the market. I know how much I used to cook a pot of soup richly in the past, which was 10 naira in the past. Now, how much can you use to cook a pot of soup for a family? From there, good. Do we have government at all? The situation becomes worsening and worsening and worsening till the reception of democracy. And these people are just there, searching for themselves and their family. They are not bothered about the people, masses, that are hungry out there. And they were talking abstract. You know, they did not address the real issue.
Okay.
When are we coming out of this situation?
Interesting. Thank you so much, madam, for calling us this morning. All right, let's come back to the studio because we don't have a lot of time. So, Otsobong, I would like you to react to some of the callers. I'll start up with you and then round up with your thoughts so that Motaya will round us off this morning.
Well, Mr. Jude, I think in as much as people are clamoring for the fact that this country will not move forward because of other people's opinion and they would want other people to respect their opinion, that is not even the way to get to the end of the tunnel where it is being perceived there is light. Having said that, Mr. Jude, I think these are trying times, of course, just like some of the callers said. Nobody's denying that fact, but can you at least allow the government to do its job? Because whether we like it or not, Mr. Jude, we still have pending issues aside from the fact that there is protest. Whether this administration comes and goes, Nigeria has very serious pending issues that needs to be addressed.
Do you agree with some of the things that Dikpo said? He said that the government made wrong decisions, but we should give them time. And I feel like this is the first person who has really come out to say, yes, we agree that the decision of taking down what's it called? Subsidy was wrong, and also the other one he mentioned as well.
Floating out.
Yes, he said that those were wrong decisions, but we should give the president some time.
Well, Mr. Jude, that is his opinion, and I respect it. But I cannot share in his opinion because I feel they are not wrong decisions, but they're policies, policies that were meant to better the country. But we have, sabotage every now and then. But at the end of the day, I still believe so much in the country, Mr. Jude, and hopefully we get to see that light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
Well, for me, first of all, I'll tell Nigerians, yes, we might be a little bit angry, but let's try to be constructive with our words. Let's try as much as can not to attack anybody. First of all, to the issue of the government, I think the government is distracting themselves with a lot of things. Instead of the energy you use in dishing out half-baked information, channel that energy again into balancing the economy. That is what we are telling the president to do. We are telling the government, not just the president, to do. Even his appointees. Instead of giving us this, don't give us blank information. But at the same time, I want to call on the president. Yes, this policy for 1 year has not really helped for me. I think if the president can do a review of these policies, let's just do it. Maybe there is something we're supposed to add, we didn't add. Maybe there is something we're supposed to remove, we didn't remove. And then I think it's high time, 1 year after, the president say if you as a minister you are not performing, there are a lot of ministers that are not performing. The president quickly exchange them, quickly swap, quickly do something. You understand? You have to be proactive. This is not the time. You ask Nigerians not to pity you, and Nigerians are people who obey. They are not pitying you.
Do we really obey the law?
We obey law, Mr. Jude.
We obey the laws that is good for
waving the flags of other countries.
I do. I don't know about you, but what I'm saying is that there is need for the president, to review. At the same time, the president should really needs to do it. If president do this one, Nigerians should praise you. Cut down cost of governance.
Cut down cost of governance. That cannot be overstated. This is where we say thank you so much for being a part of the show this morning. We do appreciate you. We will do this again on Friday. Tomorrow will be time to look at Lagos, and we would talk to some of the top people in Lagos and look at the situation that's happening in Lagos State. My name is Jude Thomas Dawam. I want to appreciate Omotayo. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. And Otobong, thank you so much.
The Coffee Gang on Hot 93.3.